Cover up and fake is how the eminent architect Joseph Stein described our times. And not just architecturally speaking. Scams, intrigue, and corruption are the order of the day. But for Joseph Stein, creator of such iconic buildings as New Delhi's India International Centre and India Habitat Centre, there exists in Delhi one oasis of integrity and excellence, and not just architecturally speaking.
Akshara, to me, being an architect, is an example of the importance of craftsmanship. Secondly, and equally important, it's an expression of integrity in a time of cover-up and fake.
The Akshara theatre, designed and built not by an architect or engineer, but by poet, playwright and director Gopal Sharman, was for Stein an oasis of purity, purity of line, of heart and of design.
What do you find so exciting about the Akshara Theatre and Arts Complex? After all, it has been designed by someone who's not an architect at all. Gopal Sharman is a director, television and theatre director, a poet and a writer.
Well, there are many things that are exciting about Akshara. I'm only speaking about the buildings. But they are a work of beautiful craftsmanship, for one thing. They're appropriate for their function. They enrich the life of the workers, and it's an enriching experience to experience Akshara. In fact, I've always been an admirer of craftsmanship, but I've never seen such a consistent and beautifully worked out work as this. From every detail, the light fixtures, the furniture, the carving, the electric switches, the hardware. So Akshara, to me, being an architect, is an example of the importance of craftsmanship. Secondly, and equally important, it's an expression of integrity in a time of cover-up and fake.
What are the principles that you keep in mind when you design a building? And how does the Akshara embody those principles?
Well, I'm what is known as a functional architect, and my vocabulary is a much more limited one. Basically, I strive for something much less rich than what has been accomplished here. My architecture is based upon the concept of beauty with simplicity, and Akshara is an expression of the richness of life, the richness of craftsmanship, and the beauty of dedication. It's a truly unique experience to come here.
The Akshara calls itself as a home for the mind of India.
Yes.
It believes that there should be a full growth and development of one's mind and soul. It does not believe in mere teaching of a craft or a technique or a superficial evening of entertainment. And it also believes in excellence. How does the physical environment of a place help in achieving that goal?
Well, in a number of ways. See, to start with, Akshara is a very human scale, which makes it easy to bring out the best in people in human relations. One of the big problems, one of the difficulties of our time is inhuman scale, which brings out and makes it easy for the worst aspects of a person's personality or situation to develop. The big city is an example.
The Akshara was itself built into an old building, one of the first of the Lachin's bungalow. What do you think of the space utilization here, keeping in mind the constraints of not going an inch beyond the original space or an inch taller than the original height?
It's a great work of art. Well, it's an example of devotion and extraordinary skill and tremendous work. But Akshara is a poetry of craftsmanship. And craftsmanship is a very rare thing in the modern world, devoted, loving craftsmanship. And Akshara actually is an expression of what the world could be like. Because with the surplus of labor that exists in the world, with the nanotechnology as the wave of the future, employment in the arts is to improve one's own life is the most reasonable way for the future. So that this is a prophecy. Every home in the future dream world could be a lifetime work of art, because no longer people need to work their lifetime to feed themselves or even to be able to travel. So I'd say Akshara represents an extraordinary intimation of a better future.
The integrity and poetic craftsmanship and its creative core of literary, dramatic and musical classicism that the Akshara represents is now under severe threat from a heartless, corrupt establishment, a system that uses draconian colonial laws to oppress the performing arts. The situation is further confounded by the increasing indifference of both the media and the corporate world, who, quite unable to differentiate between aesthetics and eyeball-seeking vulgarity, take no responsibility to support the classical arts.